had to get on live. All right, you guys. So let me just check, make sure my mic is working. I have my notes here because my laptop display actually broke. My kids broke it. You know what kids can do. So I have a 3-year old. She actually got a hold of it. My laptop display broke. So we are headed out to get some tech support on this bad boy. But before I leave the house, I had to talk about this topic because I just had a meeting with a client yesterday. And, a lot of agents have been just feeling frustrated, right? They're really frustrated about their SEO. They're feeling like they've got shafted. They're feeling scammed. So I had to come on here and just do this live really, really quick. All right, you guys. So if you find this information helpful, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to make more free courses and trainings, helpful guides, step-by-step tips for you. And if you're ready to get started, go ahead and click the link in the description below. Grab your free guide. It's a lot of good steps and a lot of great explanation on how to build out your website in front of your local market, get that exposure. And then if you want to get your site reviewed, of course, click the link in the description below as well. So I got my notes here. I don't want to skip anything. I got to get to the tech store before it closes. So I want to be really honest with you guys, okay? Got to. That's why you're here. You want honesty, transparency. It is not the SEO that failed you. I'm sorry. It's the platform. Well, actually, that's good news. It's not the SEO that failed you. It was the provider that failed you. And I can say that confidently because I see this pattern over and over and over and over again. Okay. We work with hundreds of agents, for almost 30 years, the company has been around. So I hear constantly, I've been paying for my SEO for 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. And it just doesn't really work for me. I know it doesn't work for me. Everybody's going to Zillow, everybody's going to Realtor anyway. It doesn't work. But here's the thing, guys. It's not necessarily your strategy, right? It's the activity of the platform or lack thereof. Okay. So we're going to break down why your SEO didn't work. And what I wanted to do was actually do a screen share, but of course with my laptop display, this is why we're going out. So the next time I'm going to actually share my screen and I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. So make sure that you subscribe so you know when that's going to be coming up. But there's three major reasons why agents are not seeing results. Okay. The first one is the wrong keywords or broad. It's too broad. So you're probably targeting something like, or you've got a title page that says homes for sale in Corona, California, or just Corona, California. Those pages are not true hyperlocal SEO for you. Okay, that is too broad. Zillow dominates for that. Zillow, Realtor, Homes, they have already got those covered. Okay, so you don't want to compete with Zillow. You don't want to compete with everybody. You want to get in front of your local market, right? You want to be the authority in your space, and you do that by letting Google know exactly what it is you do. The second thing, so basically, instead of having the homes for sale, you want to get a little bit more specific, right? So if you're doing luxury properties, you would specify luxury properties for sale in Corona between 2 to 3 million. Maybe you want to get even deeper, between 2 to 3 million with 4 bedroom, 5 home, or on the water. That is how buyers search. They're very intentional with their and specific when they're looking for something. The second thing is you have traffic that's not really relevant. It's not relevant to your market, your clientele, who you work with. They're contacting you from bum F nowhere, right? They're out in another country even, and they're not relocating. So maybe it's a lot of spam, a lot of bots. And these are from people that are not interested and they're just browsing. They're not even your ideal client. So that's not traffic that's actually going to be good for you that you can convert. It might look good, it might feel good at the time, but we actually want to invest in something that's going to produce something in reality. So the third thing that's happening is there's no true ownership of the platform, meaning you are or of the business, meaning that you are using a broker provided portal, which by the way, there's nothing wrong with a broker provided portal, but if you can continue to use it, just know that what you're sacrificing, right? A lot of you help building the broker's brand. A lot of the leads are being split. So if that's something that you want to do, then that's fine. I've talked with other agents that are like, no, that's kind of, I'm good with that. But if you're looking to grow, expand, make more money, more closings, then you want to continue to get yourself in front of your market, because that's one thing that broker provided sites don't do. They can't, and it's nothing against the brokerage. It's just it would cost them an arm and a leg to do that, to build out community pages, which are a hyper local save search page for every single agent, would just cost so much money. So they're not doing that. Okay. Now, what you want to do is understand that if you're going to go with that strategy, then you're basically renting your visibility. Okay. If you're going to be only sticking with a Facebook platform or a Zillow platform, just know that your brand lies over there. Okay. And we know if the algorithm changes or if anything changes, then that's it. Right. And also know that Zillow does redistribute the leads. So just be advised, okay? What it looks like when you actually have SEO on your site is you have clientele that are looking for homes in your areas that you actually service. So it's a structured system that you're building online. You're building permanent ranking, right? So you don't have to rely on paid ads, which by the way rank up. Now, if you've got a targeted paid ad campaign that is structured really well, then that could work, right? But you don't want to start there. You want to start with your foundation, and then you build on that, right, with other tools. So when you have a permanent structure, when you've got good SEO, then you've got neighborhood pages on there. You've got hyper local save searches. So if you're in 15 different areas, you don't have to settle for a site that can only do 5. Right? You need to find the right type of platform that's actually going to give you the amount of value that you're looking for. So how many hyper local content pages can you put on there? We want to put as much as possible. But some platforms will charge you for each layer, right? Or each amount. You might only get 10 pages. And that might be like a $300 a month thing. And if you want more than that, it might be like 3,000 a month. So make sure you're getting with the right platform. You want to have your site that has neighborhood pages, hyper local intent. It's searchable. So when clients go into Google, you have the SEO. Just check my mic. When clients go into Google and they're searching for those properties, right? Luxury, single family, or whatnot. You've got the pages that specify that you are working with these type of listings. You understand? If you guys have any comments about this, just drop it in the comments, or if you have any questions, then go ahead and reach out and schedule a appointment. Because when someone is searching best neighborhoods near me, best agent near me, you want to make sure that at least you're in the pool. Okay, if you don't have any hyperlocal save searches on your site, you can see what's on the page, but other people cannot. You want to make sure that you are actually showing up as the answer to their problem, right? You have the property that they're looking for, or you can connect with the other agent or whoever that can get the deal done. So Google understands a system on the back end. It can only see data. It can't see what we see. It doesn't see pretty. So we need to make sure that not only are we combining what you do, okay, because this is your digital business card. This is your digital storefront. We're in 2026. We're the digital age. People are looking you up. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that people aren't looking you up. They are. Even if you're working with referrals, especially if you're working with referrals and high net worth individuals, they Google you. They do their due diligence. Okay. They want to know who they're working with. They want to know, sellers want to know, can you sell their property? I mean, they want to know that you're going to showcase their property in the best light, right? And then it's going to get in front of buyers. And most buyer searches start online. So they start in Google. Okay. So, not to say you don't want to be working on other things like your social media and things like that, but I think a lot of agents get sidetracked by only focusing on that, especially when you're growing. Focus on your social media. Yeah, that's good. But remember, it comes down to your foundation as well. The algorithm can change. So, what does Google not want to see? This is where what trips a lot of people up, because they feel like they have presence there, but they really don't. But Google does not want to see any type of site that has, and we're talking about real estate websites here, okay? I want to be very specific. We're talking about real estate websites, okay? Not websites for salons and groomers and not what it doesn't matter. We're talking about real estate websites only, okay? Google does not trust a clunky, outdated, if you've got broken links, if you don't have hyper local save searches, it doesn't even know you're there, right? So it doesn't trust if you only have the listings pulling in without the hyper local safe searches, which is where a lot of agents are at, because you got to think about this. It's a duplicate feed, right? If you're in, say, the Bright MLS, there's thousands of agents pulling from the Bright MLS. So you need to make sure that you're front of mind as opposed to every other agent. So Google is looking for sites that are fresh, they're relevant, they're unique, they are consistent, they're giving real-time data, so the listings are updated constantly. You're providing information about the area. You're answering questions that people are searching. So if a seller is searching, he might be searching something like, "How much is my home worth?" Do you have that information on your page? If you do, well, then Google's going to pop you up in front of that client. So this is where a lot of people fail, just not understanding what Google is actually looking for. SEO is not just about keywords and meta tags and it's ranking. It's about being the answer, the relevant answer to people, to clients, to sellers in your market, right? It's about letting them know that you are the best source that they need to work with. And that only happens not just with you, right? Because they want to work with you once they connect with you. You build on that trust, you build that relationship. But in this day and age, when you're appealing to new clientels and they don't know you, you have to show what you do, who you are, what you specialize in, how long you've been in the industry. Hype yourself up, show your personal brand, show what you've been doing in the industry, show what your specialties are, whether that be single family, probate, trust, whatever. Your local authority is built in over time, right? So you're expanding on those relationships that you're already building in real time. So that's it for today, guys. Wanted to dig into why your SEO wasn't working so that you don't get stuck in this, well, it just doesn't work at all. That's not true. So today, do you have a system that doesn't just have the SEO, the exposure behind it, but also does it make your life easier? Does it nurture your clients when you're unavailable, when you're in a listing, when you're at an appointment, when you're with family? Is it able to give you insight on what clients are searching? Does it make your life easier? Right? Without costing an arm and a leg for things that you don't use. So that's it for today. Remember, if you found this helpful, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button so I can continue to make more free courses and trainings just like this one. See you next time.